You're going to be seeing a lot of prophecy being fulfilled very soon, I believe. And just keep your eyes open and be ready. If you're not a believer now, get right with the Lord, because I think the Lord is coming, and it could be very soon. And it also could be that truck out there might be marked for you. So you never know how you're going to go meet the Lord, but it could happen at any time. So get yourself right with the Lord. Anyhow, getting back to information. The information, because we are so information involved, so much is going on. There are things that many of us don't even understand. Do you understand how you can go to a teller, an ATM, somewhere at a 7-Eleven or someplace like that, put your card in there, and you can communicate secretly with your bank maybe 1,000 miles away? How does it do that? I mean, if you know anything about the telephone, it's not private. You can go up and tap into a telephone line, and you can hear everything that's going on. So you mean to say that my bank account information is going back and forth with the telephones as public as they are? And they really are public. And yes, what we know about information today, you can send a message, and you can be in a crowded room, and everybody can hear the message, but nobody but the person that's supposed to receive it can understand it. That's the kind of things we've gotten out of our information technology these days. We've gone through just generations of this. So this information is mathematics, but it's also science. It's also something that we can use to understand our world better. And the study of statistics and probability helps us to research the world and to better function in it. And you use it all the time. Right? The precipitation probability tomorrow is 60%. Are you going to go to that picnic or not? Well, I got to make a decision based on the probability that it's going to be a good time or not. The probability of what's the traffic going to be going through town? Well, if it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, probability is it's pretty high. It's going to be bad. What's the probability I'm going to get killed? So you buy insurance based on the probabilities. All this stuff is stuff that we do every day. It's part of our everyday life, and we didn't have that at one time. But so now we want to use this probability to do some of our science. So one of the questions that scientists are trying to figure out, especially secular scientists, is where did we come from? Why are we here? How did this whole thing begin? And so if you go, there's a couple concepts I want to introduce you to if you haven't heard of them before. Has anybody heard of the word abiogenesis? Anybody know what that is? Biogenesis first there's two words, and they mean they're very different things. One is biogenesis. Bio means life. Genesis means beginning. So biogenesis is the beginning of life. And you may know Louis Pasteur was the one who ran some experiments back quite a while ago, centuries ago now, where he found out that life always comes from former life. Life always comes from our former life. And this is still today never been an example has ever been found that refutes this idea. Life always comes from previous life. Well, that's a problem. Where'd the first life come from? And so biogenesis is the idea that life always comes from former life. Abiogenesis, which means not life beginning, the meaning that it means today is that life, it's the way that life happened in the beginning. And if you go on the Wikipedia article about abiogenesis, it'll say something to the effect that abiogenesis is the study of how life began naturally. And they actually use the word naturally. In other words, it's not supernatural. They're spelling it out right there in the Wikipedia article that it is not a supernatural event. Well, what about the question of whether life began naturally? That would be a good thing to do. But scientists do not investigate whether or not it happened. They assume that it happened. There's another term that you don't have to know this, there won't be a quiz at the end, but naturalistic, let's see, methodological naturalism. The methodological naturalism presupposition. Okay, methodological means that it's just how we do things. The method we do things. And naturalism is the idea that everything's nature. Every natural event has a natural cause. And presupposition means it's an assumption that you make before you start doing your work. So science today uses the methodological naturalism presupposition. Now, does that mean that science has done some scientific studies and they found that that there is no supernatural? No, not at all.